We live in an era when all the pressure is on towns and cities to come together, to form their own powerhouses to take on London. But plenty of places don't like the idea of being subsumed by their big metropolitan brother. Take, for example, the royal town of Sutton Coldfield. It's got its own town council again after more than 40 years of being part of Birmingham. It was a decision they took in a referendum. This will be the country's biggest town council, the first in a metropolitan area, and it's got a budget to match. So what will they do with it, and could it usher in a new kind of local politics? Dave McMullen has been to Sutton Coldfield to find out.
It gives me great pleasure to open this meeting.
It's not every day you get a ringside seat at the start of a new democracy.
To call this an honour and a privilege doesn't really do it justice. Our council for the town last sat in 1974.
It ends the 42 years of hurt that some local people here have felt since becoming part of Birmingham in 1974.
1974, yes, I campaigned against us going into Birmingham when I was much younger.
Ken Rushton was the man who led the campaign to get this town council.
We stood out there in the rain and we had some banners. And the thing that drove this, and the reason we have a council, is because Sutton people want change.
Now that it's here and elected, the big question is, what's it going to do? What can it do?
My name's Nick Randall. I'm the interim town clerk at Sutton Coldfield Town Council. The 2011 Localism Act effectively allowed councils to do anything that an individual can do. Councils are freed from the constraints of just looking at environmental issues, and that they can look at doing economic development or running businesses or taking over services which are not being funded elsewhere.
So the town council can take on quite a bit of responsibility, and it's got a £1.8 million budget to play with.
Looks scruffy, look at all the cigarette ends and everything. I know they're trying to do the best.
To find out what some of the priorities are, I went on a tour around Sutton Coldfield to talk to some of the key players.
You look what we've walked out to and what we've walked into.
In the town centre, my guide was Nigel Waldron, the president of the Chamber of Commerce.
Success for me would be an increase in the actual footfall of people coming into Sutton, a smarter town centre, better road infrastructure, and the fact that you can feel a little bit more proud to be part of a town centre that I think has fallen behind the times. Now these two, if you ever need to find out what's going on in the area, always come and see my two favourite girls.
The rents and the rates need to be lowered. You look at all the shops that they open, and they're only open for a bit and then they close because they can't afford to keep them going.
I'm sitting here in what might be described as one of Sutton Coldfield's jewels in its crown, Sutton Park, Blackroot Pool, with Claire Bennett.
Hello.
One of the 4 independent councillors elected.
That's me, Independents for Sutton. Everyone that stood for election as an independent believed passionately that there is no place for party politics in local politics. Tiny local politics, I think, are the way forward.
But of course the big parties did stand. Across town at the Bishop Vesey pub, I met Rob Pocock, one of the 2 Labour councillors elected, but the candidate who got more votes than anyone else.
I did top the poll remarkably, actually, for a Labour Party candidate, but I think a lot of people voted for me because I fought very hard to achieve this democratic reform for Sutton across and beyond the party politics.
A new kind of politics?
I think it's a community politics. People putting the community first. That's the big test for all of us. The public in Sutton have voted for a new style of council. We have to be big enough to stand up against the party machines and say we're putting the community first.
And so to the town hall and the town's new mayor, Conservative councillor Charlotte Hodivala.
Yes, we do have a very, very strong mandate from the people of Sutton Coldfield who've elected for a very strong Conservative majority on that council. At the same time, there is balance to be offered by having some representatives of the other parties on there, and I'm sure that we can all work together on delivering that. But it's not about power, it's about serving the people of Sutton Coldfield, and I hope we can all remember that.
The first meeting of the council has broken up, and there's been no shortage of ambition expressed for the future of the town. It feels like a genuinely new chapter for Sutton Coldfield. But judging by the public support for this council and the extra 50 quid on top of their council tax they're paying for it, they will expect a lot. And it's a big moment for the localism agenda too. Nick Randall, the town clerk, thinks the rest of the country will be watching.
Nationally, there is a lot of interest in how Sutton Coldfield shapes up. It does have the potential to do new things in new ways, and I think everybody's interested to see how things turn out.